Oh, where's the chat? Where is the chat? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. We are live. Maybe. I'm assuming we're live. I don't see it on YouTube. I'm live. You can see I'm live on TikTok or on X. If you're watching this on YouTube, could you please give a comment? Make a comment. Okay, Lavi, thank you so much. All right. Yes, presented by Vechain. Another one presented by Vechain. And this one's very simple. And I'm going to put this in the link in the, this is just the call to action. I'm going to talk for 5 minutes about this, less than 5 minutes. But this is really it. It's just if you downloaded the VWorld app, which I would recommend, you want to download that, check it out. Do me a favor, watch my most recent live stream where I talk about that. You can download the VWorld app, and then all you do on this site is that you connect your wallet to your VWorld app to Stargate here. And then you can stake your Vechain and get VThor rewards. It's as simple as that. Okay, so big things about Vechain. Again, I am convinced that Vechain is going to exist 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that after the .com bust of crypto, that Vechain is still going to be here, and there is going to be a significant real world use case for Vechain. I am live on TikTok. I went live a couple minutes after starting live here. So, I'm not in favor of holding altcoins throughout the bear market. And it does look like we're entering a bear market, not the bear market, but a bear market. I'm not in favor of holding altcoins through the bear market, but if you were to hold, there are some that I'd be okay with. If you're insisting on holding an altcoin through the bear market, Dogecoin's one of them. Vechain is another one. And they're sorry, give me a second. Eventually there will be a time when Vechain hits a new all-time high. I'm convinced of that. Dogecoin as well. So sell at a loss. I sell at a loss all the time. It's up to you. You do you, okay? But yes, I sell at a loss. I'm not saying it depends on the crypto. There are certain ones that I would jettison very quickly. All right. So again, do me a favor. Could you please do me a favor? Because I don't get any kickbacks from this, but they want to check the measurements. They want to check how many downloads, how many clicks of the link. So if you could just click the link to Stargate. And if you're watching on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on X. I posted the link to Stargate where you can connect your VWorld wallet, your Vechain wallet to that and click my referral link. I don't get any kickbacks. But if you stake your Vechain, you get some rewards. And if there's one that I'd be okay with staking, if I was forced to, it would definitely be Vechain. Okay, so that's that. And I might revisit those things. I'll probably revisit that at the end, maybe in the middle as well. And forgive me, there's a party going on outside my office, a birthday party. I have no idea who. I looked out there. I have no idea who these people are. Not a single one. So okay, it is what it is. So all right, let's get to some comments here. Strange time for you to be live. Yeah, I'm live because Vechain is sponsoring this live stream, and if that's on a very short list of cryptos that I really would love to be partnered with them. There's potential for a long-term partnership. So I'm willing to go live when I usually don't go live, and today's a very busy day. So it's not an ideal day for me to go live. I went live on Thursday night. That was the only time I could go live on Thursday. I went live on Thursday night because they want 3 lives from me just to see how this goes. Where I talk about VWorld and Vechain and Stargate. So Is it in here? I can't post the link on TikTok to Stargate. If you go to my X account, WW Bitcoin, the live stream is there, and I posted stuff on there. What's the latest with he? Nothing. And I'm not sorry to say that. I'm just like, what can we do? We can wait for euphoria, and I'm telling you, when the time comes, again, there will be euphoria between now and the next halving. I'm absolutely convinced of that. When the time comes, he is going to do insane returns, especially now at a $500,000 market cap. And you know what? I mean, I like at this point, could it just please go? Could it just go lower, please, please? And there's going to be a time when it flatlines. If again we're entering into a bear market, a mini bear market, let it flatline and I'll accumulate, and then please can you let me scoop up as much of the supply as possible. So that's what's the latest with he. I'm going to try to scoop up as much of the supply as possible. What's a good vet wallet? V World. And please, Robert, please, if you could, click my my referral link on my last live stream. Again, I don't get a kickback for that, but that just helps my metrics. And if Vechain can wants to continue this partnership, I'd love to. So, yeah, Lavi, I'm with you on that, 100%. I don't think it's going to get to 100K, but if it does, I'm going to be licking my lips. My goodness. All right, Bitcoin bottomed 80K. So, all right, let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin has lost the 50-week moving average. It's at 96,000 right now. Thank you, Robert. Sorry, Roberto. So Bitcoin, it is, if we happen to close the week above the 50-week moving average, then okay, it's back on. It seems very unlikely. The weekly close is at 103. Sorry, the weekly close is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, United States, or midnight UTC, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, United States, midnight UTC. That is unlikely. And because that's unlikely, I am expecting some further downside. How low? I think actually lower than 80K. But lines in the sand are done tomorrow. Yeah. So, I mean, in the meantime, Bitcoin could reclaim the 50-week and put in a lower high. But that doesn't mean, you know, we'd have to break above, 117 or so for this to be a false breakdown. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I think this is going to extend into the first quarter of next year. And then after that, so a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, bear market buy in the fourth quarter of 2026. I really don't think so. I don't think we're going to be gifted that kind of predictability. And I think that what's going to come is that there's going to be a massive fake out in 2026. I think you guys are going to remember 2026 as a much better year than 2025. But that first part of 2026, not so much. So just keep that in mind. Hi, boss. You're going to sell your Rismus. I got a meme and am not sure if I should sell and buy back later in 2026. Like, wouldn't there be a pump when QT ends December 1st? So I looked into other Christmas themed meme coins to see when they peaked, and they peaked in the like around the first or maybe early second week of December. I am 100% out at that time. So last year, Rismus peaked on November 28th, but I think that in general, they tend to peak historically like the first or second week of December. I'm not convinced I can sell and get back in lower when things turn around. Okay, where do you think it dumps to? Bitcoin, maybe 70s. I would think under 80. So line in the sands are done. Yeah, soon. What chain is he on? Solana. Do you think we're going to bounce? If we close the week below the 50-week moving average, I tend to think we're not going to bounce. That worst case scenario or best case scenario, we would crab for quite a while. So talking crypto, ask about, stupid AI. Hello, Saad. When are we going to see Vechain do anything when everything else does anything, man? I mean, what do you want to say? But I at least have hopes for Vechain that it's not going to go to zero. Heat map shows liquidity around 80K. All right, we'll see. That's some microphone for my YouTube live stream. It's not on my TikTok. Ben Cohen was right. I'm glad the bear market is here. I want to pick up some Bitcoin at cheap. Well, was Ben Cohen right? He's been very, very helpful this cycle. But one thing I will say is that Benjamin Cohen, after Ethereum went to 3,500, he was saying that it was going to go to 5,300. And well, here we are. Okay. We bounced around 100K too much. Yeah. Thanks for the follows, guys. We had too many chances to spike to 150 and never did. This is not the environment. This is not the environment for crypto to thrive. And again, I mean, I've been talking about that ideal environment. High rates, no. Liquidity being low, no. I was hopeful that we'd have a fourth quarter like the fourth quarter of last year, but nothing crazier than that. But there will be a time, I am convinced of it. Is under 80K Bitcoin a great buy? It's a great DCA. How about that? I would not say a great buy. I would say a great place to DCA. Tron's a good crypto to stake. I could see that. Yeah, I like Tron a lot more than I used to. All right, somebody asked about Tau. Tau has been holding up pretty well. At least there's that. So can it continue to hold? Maybe. I'm very eager to short some cryptos. That's how I'm going to make my gains now. I mean, bear markets always suck, but I'm in an ICP short right now. I said I was going to do that last live stream, and we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to hold it for much longer, but anyway, you think it's over? What do you mean by it? Do you mean, Mar, that it is that Bitcoin has peaked for this cycle and it's not going to go beyond its all-time high until 2028? No. I wouldn't. If you were to force me to make a call, do I think Bitcoin will go beyond its 2025 peak in 2026 or not? My answer would be, I believe it's going beyond its 2025 peak in 2026. So what is it? Is it over for the next 5 months or so? Probably. Is it over until 2028? Absolutely not. So what's the worst case scenario for this and next year for alts? Well, all right, let's say Bitcoin dominance goes flat during quantitative tightening being over, but then Bitcoin goes down. I would say the worst case scenario for altcoins is that they just go down with Bitcoin. I don't, some will go down more and others will go down less for sure. But like you think about last bear market, every crypto suffered worse than Bitcoin except for five cryptos. Tron and Bitcoin Cash were two of those five. What I'm saying is this time the worst case scenario would be that they would go down, that there would probably, Bitcoin would kind of be middle of the road in how far it goes down. So J-Rod, you're getting a hee tattoo. All right. I literally just sold my Pendle this morning. I mean, maybe that wasn't a bad idea. Are you in Santa Coin? No, I'm not. I did bag hold some of that, but that's the one I'm paying attention to. That like every year, Santa Coin, which is an absolutely dead crypto, would spike the first week of December. Do you think the market will have bottom when Jerome Powell gets replaced? Sometime around then, maybe a little earlier than that. So that would be May of 2026, maybe a little earlier than that. If we drop in the 2000s range, that's a nail in the coffin. It's a nail in the coffin for a few months. ICP, what about ICP? It pumped really hard. It's going right back down. No surprise at all. So I'm shorting ICP. An outbreak lately? I don't know what you're asking. Isn't total 3 daily forming a bull flag? Total 3. Let me look at total 3. Let's see here. No, I would not call that a bull flag. I would just call it a downtrend. So bear market has started. Guys, I mean, it sounds like I'm saying stuff you just don't want to hear. So you're asking for clarifying questions. What bear market? Are you talking about the bear market? No. I am saying a bear market, a moment in time where we should not expect prices to go up. But it's going to be a very short period of time, a few months, not years. We are at max fear. I think we're close to the bottom. We'll see. Thought on H bar. Are we cooked? All right, guys. Just listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. How are if you're asking, are we cooked? I wonder if you're comparing this to 2021. You know, November this time in 2021 we were cooked. I mean, Bitcoin peaked on November 10th of 2021, and everyone was flat-footed by that. If you're asking, are we cooked to that regard? Absolutely not. We're not even close to cooked. Is the market going to go down, continue to go down for a bit? Yes, probably. So I think the sentiment this time feels different. Too much going on. I mean, this sentiment is entirely flipped from 2021. I mean, 2021 it was extreme greed, extreme euphoria. So yeah, give us 5 coins that can do 10x. Listen, whenever we bottom out, whether that's sooner or later, I am going to be an absolute moon boy. You're going to start hearing things from me that you've never heard before. I am going to be an absolute moon boy. And what I think could happen, and I would even say that ideally this is what I would like to happen, is that a lot of these altcoins are going to be in positions where they could possibly 50x and still not hit all-time highs, because the 4-year cycle bros are going to capitulate. They're going to give up at the worst possible time, and these altcoins are going to be at extreme discounts, and then they're going to be sidelined in a major way. And so you want coins that can do a 5x, a 10x. If you're willing to wait for a few months, almost everything. So I was at 65K with Brett in December 2024, but sold today in a loss at 10K and converted to whiff. Ouch, man. Man, you didn't sell between December 2024 and today. Dude, that's rough. And then you converted to whiff. I mean, whiff is not going to outperform Brett by all that much. If it does at all, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Historically, first 2 weeks of November, alts outperformed Bitcoin. From here to December, Bitcoin dominance should go up. I don't care about the next few weeks here. I mean, that's a good point, but I completely agree with your take. Thank you. What alt you think will be the best buy in the bear market when alts lose a lot of value? Honestly, meme coins that you have confidence they'll go back up. And I'm not just saying he, but like, can he get to 10? Let me talk about he real quick. Could it get to $10 million at the peak of euphoria? And there will be euphoria. There will be euphoria between now and the next Bitcoin halving. I'm convinced of it. That's a very, very modest expectation for he is under a $500,000 market cap right now. That's a 20x. But I'm not just talking about he. I'm talking about like meme coins that you have confidence. And the reason why I say meme coins is because 2025 has been a nightmare for meme coins. Was there ever a time in 2025 when meme coins did anything significant? We saw some utility coins do well, but meme coins have dumped so much that like if you look into individual ones and you have confidence that the team's not just going to give up, then a lot of those meme coins I think are going to provide incredible returns. So, you know, and other than that, I would stick with older utility cryptos. A lot of these that launched in 2024 are probably going to zero, because like they thought, you know, the people who launched them thought that 2020 they were just going to make millions of dollars in 2025, and that didn't happen. Do you think Pendle can survive the bear market? Pendle can survive multiple bear markets. Pendle can survive a Great Depression. Not that we're going to be in one. What are those coins that can be potentially go 10x? Throw a dart at a dartboard. Under that scenario, I mean, how about, all right, Flow, Flux, Gala, GMT, GMX, GRT. I'm just reading my trading view list right now. There was nothing special about those. You still holding Rismus? I am. Yeah. MOG. What about MOG? I'm sure it looks like every other crypto. Oh shoot. I'm sorry. I haven't been sharing my charts. Sorry about that. For those on YouTube. but I'm sharing now. Yeah, Mog. I mean, maybe it's going to flatline here. We are not in a bear market. If your definition of a bear market is see you in 2028, I agree with you. If your definition of a bear market is what my definition is, though, like that we're going to be in a season, a few months, that's my opinion. Are you still bearish in Bitcoin? Listen, we close below the 50-week moving average. Then yeah, I'm going to be a short-term bear, just a short-term bear, not a 1-year bear buy at the bottom at the end of 2025 or at the end of 2026, excuse me. Alex, I feel depressed as S. Top notch. I'm sorry, man. It's not like I've been perfect, but I have presented over and over again the likelihood that 2025 wasn't going to be this amazing year. And yeah, I'm disappointed, but like what I want you to hear from me is like just do what you got to do now, but there is coming a time, and it's probably going to be when most people are expecting Bitcoin or the crypto market to bottom out, that there's going to be a time when there's going to be an incredible opportunity, and there's going to be a day within the next 12 months and maybe within the next 6 months when you're going to hear me start talking with an insane level of bullishness, a level of bullishness that you've never heard me say before, because of the economic environment that we have been in 2025. So just be patient. Mog may get their own ETF. No, that door's locked for a reason. Look at useless. I mean, it looks like it's going to lose some support here, and if it does, it's going to go down pretty hard. I might actually want to short this if I can. Thoughts on Sui? Sui $1.77. Yeah, Sui's lost some major support. I don't know where it goes from here, though. Maybe 50 cents eventually. You are the only influencer who thinks we're in a bear market. No, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't know who it seems like you listen to people who tell you what you want to hear. This is a bear market, not the bear market. So supposedly we just hodl. Would we? I don't know what to say about right now. What I'll tell you is I had limit orders set, stop losses set on all my four biggest holdings, and those all triggered. But then I bought back in a little bit on Doge, so I'm just holding some Doge. I'll hold Doge to the bottom. So, all right, guys, I'm way behind on the comments on TikTok. I can't keep up. When is a good time to enter, get into cryptocurrency? I would say like the second quarter of 2026. Which exchange you use for crypto? All of them. Why do you think alts will have euphoria in 2026 when 2026 will probably be a bad economical year? Did I say euphoria in 2026? I said euphoria between now and 2028. It could happen in 2026. And you say will probably be a bad economical year. Will it? That I would challenge you on that, because nobody knows. I know there's signs, but like unemployment, I thought unemployment was going to be way worse than it is right now. There's certain things that I thought were going to get way worse in 2025, and they haven't yet. And so the market can do things. Here's a saying, and I'm sorry if this is a little crude. Here's a saying that I really, really stick to. It's going to be, some of you might be offended by this, but you are the market's bitch. You are the market's bitch. Okay, if you think that there is going to be that 2026 is going to be a bad economical year, let me tell you something. It might be, but there's no guarantees that it's going to be a bad year economically. Like in 2010, all right, you think about when 2010, we're coming out of the great financial crisis. I was sitting here every day thinking like any day now, the market is going to dump super hard and it's just going to be this big disaster. And ever since then, it hasn't happened. Like the market can do things, can go up when you expect it to go down, like in a major way. Currently at a 15% loss in my alt portfolio. You recommend cutting my losses and buy back next year sometime. I wouldn't like just slash it all at once. There's so many variables. Are you in a big way? Then I would cut some. Or is it money that you're willing and able to hold on to? I would still cut some, but like, I mean, at this point in time, I don't know what to say. I would cut some. Top 3 coins and when will things turn? Nope. Sorry. What market cap did you buy? Rismus? Probably around 1 million. But I DCA'd, so my average, I might be down right now. The Clarity Act could blast off the market. We'll see. Bearish divergence on USDT dominance on daily starting to form. Let's check that out. USDT dominance on the daily. Let me get the RSI here. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, so could we, all right, less than 5K, might as well hold on, I guess. Could we see a short-term bounce back? Because yeah, there is a bearish divergence forming on the daily chart. I see it. So could we get a short-term bounce? We could. But what I would want to see is a break of 117 before I'd start being bullish. And until then, everything's just going to be a lower high in my mind. But we'll see. Let me actually, what would be a higher high for Bitcoin? It might not be that high. So what if we saw Bitcoin go up to, what if we saw it get up to like 110 or something? That might be a break of bearish structure. So we'll see. Kita's probably dead or dying. There's nothing in this chart that I can say like, oh yeah, that looks amazing. RIP till 2026. You might be right about that. We'll see. Pepe coin thoughts. Oh gosh, these coins. I don't know much about Pepe coin. I'm assuming you're not talking about Pepe, but Pepe coin, I mean, it looks dead. Can't really go that much lower. I mean, maybe it could. Ondo and ADA. Those are two that, you know what? I mean, things could get a lot uglier, but like, I'd be willing to hold on to those. Maybe. I mean, I actually have a very small bag of Cardano and it's staking. I'm just going to hold on to it. But that's less than $1,000. Do you still think about a recession? What are your thoughts? I think about a recession all the time, but things haven't quite gotten along the same timeline that I thought it would. That's the thing. Win Sol below 100. All right, it's at 141 right now. I opened a scalp long on Solana yesterday at 136. It got right down to my level and I closed it at 142. And so I think what's likely to come next for Solana would be a move down to 126. And I'm going to open another scalp long on Solana at 126. It would probably bounce from there up to 136 and get rejected there. And then, so let's say that takes a few weeks, under 100, maybe first quarter. I'd say first quarter. What about December rates? What are the chances right now? Let me look up the CME FedWatch tool. Oh, wow. Oh, man. All right. So according to the CME FedWatch tool, it's actually a 55% chance that they're not going to cut rates in December. I did not know it was that high. So there we go. We'll see. What token should be on the radar for watch? I don't know, man. Just let's see this bearishness play itself out, and then we'll see about after that. Can Sol have a bounce to 150 this week? Yeah, it's possible. What about Ton? Yeah, Toncoin's been holding up pretty well since that big liquidation a few weeks ago, but I don't know. I mean, there's nothing exciting about the chart. Are you in on Pengu? No. No, I'm not anymore. All right, you mentioned Euphoria in 2026, but not the top of Euphoria. We're waiting for what do you meant? I don't know if I ever said the words Euphoria in 2026, but you've got to understand. All right, what was the best year to buy to be just holding crypto in the last 4 years? It was 2023. That was the best year. So if you bought in early 2023 and you held all throughout 2023, most cryptos were a decent amount higher at the end of 2023 than the beginning. I mean, Bitcoin was at $16,000 at the end of 2022. On January 1st, 2023, it was between $16,000 and $17,000. At the end of the year, it was 40 something thousand. Ethereum was higher. A lot of cryptos were higher at the end of 2023 than at the beginning. And what I'm saying I think is going to happen is that we'll have more like a 2023 year where it will have been a good year to hold crypto. Now, I think we're going to go down the first quarter. All right. You thought it was 2024. Well, the first quarter of 2024 was really fun. But do you remember the second and third quarters? Those were rough. Those were incredibly difficult times, especially for all. I know, like when I went live throughout after the first quarter in 2024, it was just nothing but mourning. It was just people were losing a lot. They lost a lot of money. And then, yeah, at the end of 2024, we had some excitement. But I know a lot of people who round trip, like just people. 2024 was 2 round trips. That's what people mostly did in 2024. They wrote it up and didn't take profits the first quarter 2024. They wrote it right back down. End of 2024, they wrote it up, didn't take any profits. They wrote it right back down. So I would not say 2024. I would say 2023. There were a lot of cryptos that did very well from their 2023 bottoms into 2024. So I think 2026 is going to be a better year than 2025 and better year than 2024 if you have the right perspective. Now, for me, 2024 was a great year, but that's because I sold a decent amount of my bags at the peaks in 2024. 2025 has not been a good year for me. I don't know what my P&L would be, but it's probably at a loss for 2025. So it is what it is. But I made enough in 2024 that I guess it makes up for the losses in 2025. Yeah, so thoughts on Pendle. Pendle's not going to be immune to what's next, but that's another one that I have a bag of, and I'm not even thinking about it. I haven't opened the app that it's in a while. I'll hold on to Pendle. So W Amir. Let's see, crypto market. Oh yeah, let's see. Alex, this time for TikTok lives is cool for us in Europe. In Lutton, okay. All right. Afternoon live. Yep. Do you think Pendle could go or Pengu could go somewhere at some point? Yes. Yes, but not now. The direction that Pengu is going to go now is down, but that's one that I'll be very excited about accumulating. Because Pengu, I mean, you could consider it a meme coin, but you know, I mean, like pudgy penguins, you could buy pudgy penguins stuffed animals at Walmart, you know, for those that live in the United States at least. Good entry for Pendle. I mean, if you want to scalp, actually right now is not a bad entry because it's very close to its bottom from March, very close to its bottom in August of 2024. So I would think some kind of a short-term bounce is in order for Pendle. Don't you think it would, if you would have bought Bitcoin, you have been better off? Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, you would have gotten an 8x. Nobody knows what will happen at all. I know you get tired of saying the same thing over and over again. TA don't work. Let's cross our fingers and hope we break even on coins. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what will happen, Bait. But it's the same thing whenever somebody says that. you just got to think in terms of probability. We're not talking about this will definitely happen. And I'm just trying to be helpful. That's all. I'm not trying to say that I have all the answers. I'm just trying to be helpful. And you know what? I've been more helpful than probably 95 to 98% of people in the space. So I haven't been perfect. I know that, but I'm just trying to be helpful. Do you think there's hope for SHIB to make a comeback? You know, only in euphoria, not right now. I mean, I don't think Shiba Inu may never hit a new all-time high from here. There's just too many SHIB things, comparable. There's just more excitement among meme coins than Shiba Inu. There's newer things, Is Vechain a good buy at this price? Hey, this live stream is sponsored by Vechain. Now, it's incredibly difficult for me to buy any crypto right now. But looking at Vechain, its bear market bottom was 0.013, 1.3 cents. Right now, Vechain's at 1.5 cents. I would expect from here that Vechain would probably go below its previous bear market bottom, not including that massive liquidation wick a few weeks ago. But could there be some kind of a short-term bounce at 1.3 cents? I mean, there already was. Would it be good for a scalp? All right, Amir, did I hear you say you think we're just going to go further down from here? I think we're going to go, assuming we close below the 50-week moving average on Bitcoin, I think that it is more likely that we're going to go down for the next few months. I'm not, you know me, you know what my thoughts in general, Amir. I'm not calling for the bear market. See you in 2028. Will you be buying WIF around the bottom again? I think WIF can go a decent amount lower than where it is right now. But yeah, let's see WIF in a few months. I might be interested in buying some WIF. I think all the people will become either Bitcoin maxi or quit the space. Yeah, and that's music to my ears, excuse me. That if the masses are going to now move to Bitcoin, then let me look like a fool calling for all, because I am going to be at the proper time. I am going to be an absolute moon boy on altcoins, and people are going to look at me like I'm crazy. They're going, what are you talking about? Altcoins are dead. Altcoins will never do anything exciting ever again. And that is what I want to hear from people. That's what's going to cause me to want to buy altcoins. I don't want to buy altcoins when everyone is screaming at the off the rooftops that they're all going to 50x and 100x. But let's let all the moon boys from 2025 start talking about that they're only going to buy Bitcoin or they're going to leave the space entirely. Then let me scoop up those cheap altcoins and ride them, not to new all-time highs, but to X's. Absolutely. If we close above the 50-week, do you think we can run? Sure. Yeah. Is it wise to DCA in this crash, or what's the scenario? It's wise, but it's not easy. And when's it done? I don't think we're at the bottom yet. Are AI low cap coins going to perform well when the market reverses? Some will. I don't know about all of them, but good entry on 0x0. Really? That's one I haven't looked at in a long time. Man. I mean, this one looks like it's dead. I know I say that a lot, but this one looks like it's dead. It was delisted on some exchange now that I'm looking at it here. So maybe I'm not even looking at the right chart. Let me see if it's on yeah, no, there is no entry that would have me excited about buying this. Aster, is this still a thing? Huh, $1.13. That's doing better than I thought it would. Yeah, maybe it is a thing. Maybe there's some hope with it for that. What's the 50-week EMA right now? Probably around 101. All right, guys, I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on X. Let me make one more pitch real quick because this live is being presented by Vechain. So could you do me a favor? head on over to YouTube or X and click on the link for Stargate. If you connect your V World wallet to Stargate, your V World wallet, download the V World wallet, connect it to Stargate. You can stake your Vechain tokens, and click on my link just so so that the Vechain chain can see my metrics. Not that I'm getting a kickback on that. Click on the link, go to V World or go to Stargate, connect your V World wallet to it. And if you stake your VeChain and you can get VThor rewards. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled live stream. So what time is it? I have to leave here in about 12 minutes. How low do you think ETH will go? Under this scenario, where it's not the bear market, a bear market, Ethereum, somewhere between wherever it bottomed out on April 7th. What was that, like 13 something? I'm going to give a wide range, and I'm sorry about that. I could see it holding. There's a lot of support around $2,200. I could see it holding that, but if not, then I would think lower, under 1,500. So how about Athena? I could see Athena holding up, even though it's newer utility. I could see it at least surviving, but will it hit all-time high? It could hit an all-time high, yeah. Have you called it a bear market? By this time tomorrow, or a couple days from now, if assuming Bitcoin closes below 103, or even the 50-week EMA below 101, it closes tomorrow's candle below that, then a bear market, yes. What about MYX? Man, that thing was wild, right? It's at 256. Didn't that get up to 13 or something? Is that the right one? Yeah, huh. Where did you buy it? Shall I cut loose or hold? I would if you bought this at $16 or something like that, thinking that it was the next big thing, I had no doubt that it was going to come right back down. So now I don't know, man. You think the market makers care about support lines? Yes, I do. Yep. I know that you've been a little antagonistic on this live stream bait, but yes, I think they do. Oh, sorry, I didn't say anything about ORT. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know anything about this crypto. It looks like there's no floor. Yeah, because it's a newer utility. This thing is something that it just looks like it's going to go lower and lower until it just, I don't know its market cap. So I'm sorry, man. This is not the kind of crypto that I'd be holding. Bitcoin go to 88K. I mean, that certainly seems plausible. Ski will have to shave his beard. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. I think Ski's going to have to shave his beard. Let's see. Will the US dollar get stronger in 2026? I mean, unfortunately, the chart looks pretty strong right now. So what about ADA? I already talked about ADA. Looks, nothing looks great, but I'm fine holding. I have a small bag of Cardano. TIA, there's no hope for TIA. There's no hope for Celestia. That's dead. Radium, there is hope, because Radium, one, it existed in 2021, and two, it has real utility, especially given how much action there is on Solana. So what about TAI? I don't know what to say about TARS AI. I mean, small market cap. If we're going down, then TARS AI is going to go down. I'm sorry to say, but there is hope for TAI long term. What about XRP? I mean, there's always going to be hope for XRP. I mean, XRP is one of the few that actually hit a new all-time high. But, I mean, people mocked me when I said this. I think XRP can go down below $1. Are we in a bear market? That's how I've been saying this live stream, weekly close below the 50-week moving average tomorrow, which is likely, looks very likely right now. Then, yeah, we are in a bear market, not the bear market. Epic and Linnea, Solana, guys, my answer for all of these is, I'm sorry. Yeah, if Bitcoin's going to lose the 50-week moving average, then they are all going to go down more. Now, all right. How about a little bit of hopium? I know that I've been, I have been saying that things are going to go down. Here's a scenario. Here's a scenario where things can get can actually be somewhat exciting by the end of the year. And it's, you know, we talked about, somebody pointed out the bearish divergence on USDT dominance, which is bullish for crypto. That maybe what we're going to see is some kind of a short-term pop by the end of the year. And what if under that scenario, Bitcoin dominance does go down? That's why I still hold some altcoins, and Bitcoin dominance is actually looking kind of weak. So I'm sorry, guys. You know, I mean, right now, things aren't looking all that great at this moment. And but there may be over the next few weeks a short-term pop, like kind of a finishing move before first quarter 2026 is probably going to suck. So we'll see. Hopium, this sentiment is perfect for the biggest pump ever. Yeah. I'm not trying to be a D, but I want everyone to stop coping. It's a chance we never get back to our numbers. You know how many coins are in the market. Yeah, coins in the market. I know. People. So all the influencers who told you that 2025 was going to be this amazing year, now they're trying to find a scapegoat, and the biggest scapegoat that they can find is pumped out fun, and I think that's just no. You get no. What I mean, if you look at just the total crypto market cap, look at total too. You know, I mean, this is total did put in a new all-time high from 2021, but it's not like it was that much. I mean, let's do total two actually, because that excludes Bitcoin. Total two just did a double peak. So you can go on about like, oh, there's too many cryptos, but like, you know, if the economic environment was more favorable, the total altcoin market cap would have gone much higher than where it did. So, all right, guys, I'm not able to keep up with all these comments, and I have like 5 minutes before I have to go. So Epic, Linnea, Solana's probably going a decent amount under $100 at some point. So I'm not going to look at FTM. Sky, I've answered a lot of your questions. I'm sorry. I feel like the minute I sell my alts, it'll rip up. It's hard to sell. Daba, you have to sell at some point. I'm not saying to sell now. You have to sell at some point. And you have to live with the consequences of your sells. I sold. I had my limit orders. I had my stop losses. They all hit. And you know what? I'm feeling a lot better because those prices were a decent amount higher than where they are right now. Like what this idea, like I know it's really, really hard to sell. You think when things go up that it's going to be easy to sell. When things go up, it's going to be even harder to sell because you're going to feel like that. Oh no, but it's going to go so much higher. No, you just got to sell, man. You know, you can't just be holding on to this. It's garbage. This is all garbage, except for Bitcoin and a handful of altcoins. Crypto is trash. You have to sell. And so whether that's now or whether it's a week from now or all right, maybe things will just pump super hard. You got to sell, man. So how long does a bear market last opposed to the bear? I said that like 5 times this live stream, Matt. I'm sorry. Like I could see like the second quarter of 2026 possibly being a bottoming out point. You still think Cello or Blast still have hope? Cello, yes. Blast, no. If you had to make a new portfolio, which coins would you prefer, or you wouldn't make one at all? I mean, I'm waiting before making any new portfolios, but I would add a lot of dinosaurs from 2021 or 2018, and I'd add some meme coins, a decent amount of meme coins. Doesn't matter what type of candles we use. Ski uses Heikinashi, and the close for him is higher than the standard candles. Yeah. I think. I mean, if Ski wants to go by Heikinashi, that's fine. I think there are advantages to Heikinashi candles. For me, I just go by regular candles. I mean, they're tools. You know, they both have their advantages and disadvantages. I'm hoping he will look good in the future. It will. Utility on altcoins is important for the coin to not die, but hype is more important for gains X's. I agree with you. Hearing everyone say it's over makes me feel like we've almost bottomed. You know, I mean, you say that. People were saying that in December of 2021, and we went down much more. And then somebody else accused me of being the only one who's saying that it's over, which is absolute nonsense. And I'm not really saying it's over. So, all right. So Cody, that's a good point. You know, maybe this is all just a fake out. All right, so Cody on YouTube says Bitcoin closed below the 50-week moving average, and it's over, quote, in quotation marks, is what the market makers will use against us before like higher IMO. Maybe Cody's right. Maybe the market makers want this to happen so that we can all believe it's over and we can all dump our bags and then it'll pump. I'm going to go based more on past history and say I think what the market makers are actually going to aim for is for a moment for a few months of it being over to the point where people like actually like just give up entirely, and then we're going to start to pump. So that it won't be like, all right, this week there was a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, and now we're going to pump it. We're going to cause a short squeeze. Yeah, I mean it's possible for sure. But what I think is going to happen is that they're going to drag this out for a few months and make people think it's a typical bear market, and then this market's going to reverse in a major way. Because let me tell you something, you know, we have BlackRock now, we have Vanguard and Fidelity, and this is going to have to be my last comment. I'm sorry, but we have these major players in right now, and you know what? If you know what they're going to do, they try to sell too early and they try to buy too early. So if they're gonna buy too early, then you know, too early, they're not waiting until October of 2026 to buy. I can say that with so much confidence. They're not waiting until when retail is going to wait to buy. If retail is waiting until October of 2026 to buy, they're going to buy sooner, and we are not bottoming out in October of 2026. So I have to leave it at that. I'm sorry. I have to take my sons to Nerf and Nuggets. But again, one last request, head on over to YouTube or X and check out Stargate. Sorry, give me a second. Yeah, the Stargate app with Vechain, not the Stargate website, and connect your V World wallet to Stargate and check that out. So WW Bitcoin on X or World War Bitcoin on YouTube. You can see it in the description section there. Stake your VeChain, earn VThor rewards, and that's it. So peace out.